Okay, so today we're going to use substitution to help us integrate this expression. Okay, note that the denominator can be written as x to the power of half and x to the power of 1/3. Okay, so let me just write that down first. Okay, so this is x to the power of half and this is x to the power of 1/3. Okay, so now the question is, what substitution should I be using? Okay, should I use x equal to y square or maybe x equal to y cube? Okay, so actually I tried both and it didn't turn out very well. So instead, I tried x equals to y to the power of 6. Okay, so at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how I arrived at that substitution. Okay, so for now, we'll use x equals to y to the power of 6. Okay, so let's start by differentiating. All right, so differentiating the left-hand side with respect to x. Okay, I'll get dx. And differentiating the right-hand side with respect to y, I'll get 6y to the power of 5 dy. All right. Okay, what about x to the power of half, right? So since x is equals to y to the power of 6, x to the power of half would be equals to y to the power of 6 to the power of half, which is y cubed, right? And x to the power of 1/3 would be y to the power of 2. Okay, all right, so now this is ready in place. Okay, I'm going to substitute into the expression. Okay, so dx is going to be replaced by 6y5 dy. Okay, so I'm just going to write 6y5, but I will write dy at the side. Okay, x to the power of half is y cubed, and x to the power of 1/3 is y squared. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to simplify this fraction. Okay, I'm going to divide the numerator and denominator by y squared. So I'm going to get 6y cubed divided by y plus 1. Okay, so how do we continue from here? I will need to do a long division. Okay, so let's just do a long division at the side. Okay, so I have 6y cubed divided by y plus 1. Okay, so I would need 5y squared. So that would give me, sorry, not 5. Why did I come up with 5? I would need 6. Okay, so 6y squared, that would give us 6y cubed plus 6y squared. Okay, so 6y cubed plus 6y squared. And subtracting this, I would get negative 6y squared. Okay, so I would need negative 6y, right? So I can get negative 6y squared, and that would give me a negative 6y over here. Okay, so subtracting that. Okay, what am I going to get? Okay, so this would be 6y, all right? 6y. Okay, so lastly, how do I get 6y, right? I need a 6, right? Because y times 6 is 6y. Okay, so 1 times 6 is 6. Okay, so the remainder is negative 6. Okay, so this expression, let me just write it in red now. This expression is actually kind of converted to 6y squared minus 6y plus 6 minus 6 over y plus 1 dy, right? So that's the result of the long division. Okay, now we're going to try to integrate this. Okay, so how do I integrate this, right? Integrating 6y squared is 6y cubed over 3. Okay, so 6y cubed over 3 is 2y cubed, right? 2y cubed, right? Integrating 6y, you should get 6y squared over 2. So that's actually 3y squared, right? And integrating 6 is 6y. Integrating this is a ln, right? So negative 6 ln of y plus 1. Okay, and just remember to put a plus c at the end. Okay, we're not going to leave our answer like this because, you know, I need to replace the y, right, with the original variable, which is x. Okay, so what is y cubed? Okay, so we know that y to the power of 6 is x. So in other words, y cubed would be x to the power of half, right? So let's write it here. So this is 2 times x to the power of half. What about y squared? Y squared would be x to the power of 1/3. Okay, so this is negative 3x to the power of 1/3. Okay, what about y? Y is x to the power of 1/6, right? So 6 times x to the power of 1/6. Minus 6 ln x to the power of 1/6 plus 1 plus c. Okay, so this would be our final form, all right? So I'll call that my answer. Now, why did I use x equals to y to the power of 6 as the substitution? Okay, and why did I bother to write it as a half and 1/3 over here, right? So there's a reason. The reason is because I wanted to see the LCM of the denominator, right? So how I arrived at 6, right? The 6 is actually the LCM of 2 and 3. Okay, so if you have other questions, right, or other similar type of questions, you could have done the same, right? So maybe, you know, this is 1/3 and 1/4. Okay, maybe you could have used the x equals to y to the power of 12, right? Because the LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. Okay, so that is the trick. Okay, I hope you find this useful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.